please.
The Infinity player profile shows that Djokovic stopped at number 3 for a period of years. Very unusual that you'd be locked out of the top 2 for as long as he has been. The one loss of set to Dodig in a 10-8 tiebreak. Very efficient since then.
Yeah, Almagro's a tough player. He dismissed him easily. Berdych was very impressive in that one. Came from a breakdown in that second set there, and also, of course, was down 5-2 in the second against Federer. You know, obviously it's been great these last 7-8 years, and have the dominance as two great, maybe arguably the two greatest players, certainly before all said and done with Nadal. But I'm really excited to see two new guys that have, you know, they've been there, but one of them's going to walk away with a major title. And both these guys have really earned it, and they've had to deal with those shadows of Federer and Nadal, and a real credit to them, how they've continued to improve, continued to work, and here's their opportunity.
They told us they've expected to collide with each other for major titles. This is the first one, but they don't think it's going to be the last. This, no. They think, is going to be their main rival moving forward. Suggesting that Federer can't contend for majors for a few years, and Nadal won't soon be back, and if he's healthy, be the favorite for the French Open. But these guys have their eyes on the big prizes down the line. As you see Murray's camp, his mother Judy on the left. It's kind of an interesting camp. His best buddy Danny Valverde on the right in the black shirt. You get friends and family, and no real big name coach.
No, he's got his fitness trainer and physio there in the front row as well, and that's the Djokovic camp. There's Ana Ivanovic just in that box there, and in the middle in the front row is Marian Vajda, who's the coach of Djokovic.
Former tour player from Slovak Republic. So kind of a muted start for Murray, I would say. Both guys in the feeling out process, not taking full rips at the ball yet. Murray's third major final, of course, and he muscled past opponents, losing only 22 games in the first 4 rounds. Again, Dogopolov taking care of Tsonga and Soderling before the Ukrainian was dismissed in 4, and the tough win over Ferrer 2 nights ago.
Well, Djokovic has really come out looking very sharp.
First 6 points.
And Murray's got to be careful. I mean, this is a little bit, it's obviously extremely early, but this is a little bit of what he did last year. Sort of rope-a-doping early, and against Federer, just put him in a hole quickly. And that's oftentimes the way Murray likes to start matches. He sort of did it even against Ferrer, but he could get away with it there. Started to play more offensive after he got down a set.
Djokovic doing all the dictating.
Forehand there from Murray.
He finally took a rip at the serve.
Yeah.
30.
See Djokovic even dictating here this rally with that forehand, but Murray with a great response. We're hearing from the Djokovic camp that the bandage on the knee is simply precaution.
In other words, mostly for the mind. You're shaking your head.
I don't know. I can't.
Hey, whatever
if he
helps you mentally in these big matches, right? It was Djokovic telling himself that because he'd won this title before and had 2 days rest, that was an edge. Murray felt like, I played in the final last year. I've beaten him 3 straight. That's my edge.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe you have an edge,
convince yourself. You got to play a lot of mind games out here. Yep. That's what Murray has to be careful of, is kind of sitting back a little bit too much, relying on the slice, because if Djokovic can control the middle of the court as he does here, Murray's going to have to play an awful lot of defense. Both players are going to have to play quite a bit of defense anyway, but Murray's got to look to take the initiative a little bit more.
He was being worked over by Ferrer, Patrick, until he stepped forward in the second set and kind of claimed the baseline. He makes the adjustment right away.
Yeah, good serve, sets it up, and as soon as he got the forehand to go after, he kept control of the rally. Watch how he opens the court up here, and look at Murray spread the court now, and look at him use his feet. Goes back inside out. Good fist pump, and he was looking to follow it forward as well. I think he's got the clear edge in this match in the net game, in the net play. He's got more reach, he's got better feel. Wants to use that tonight.
Djokovic has pretty rarely come forward in this tournament. He's been a dominant baseline player, as you'd expect. When he's come forward, is purely a surprise tactic.
Deuce.
You'll see the many pained expressions of Andy Murray in super slow-mo tonight. The Australian directors love it. Already Djokovic punishing Murray for missing the first serve, Patrick.
Yeah, and Djokovic is not a guy that goes for the winner on the return, but he takes it early, hits it flat, and the depth on that shot is what beat Murray. And Djokovic can do that off both wings, so Murray's got to really think long and hard about where to direct that second serve. I'd advise more into the body.
Murray trying to get himself pumped up. Fight is what he yells often.
He's done that a few times already in this match, and in fact he's down the end where Novak Djokovic's box is, and they were already very vocal.
That's no surprise, is it, Darren? They've been known to be pretty vocal. It really got Federer agitated in the semifinal. Murray really having to fight for his opening service game.
Murray is challenging the call on the right far sideline. The ball was called out.
In by about a millimeter. Pretty good eye for a guy that often throws away challenges badly.
Yeah, you don't want to do that in the second game of the Australian Open final.
Good use of a challenge as he hammers his first ace.
Well, I think Murray's also sending a message to Djokovic, and maybe even more to himself, that this year's different. You know, he's not going to be passive. He's fist pumping. He's sending out a couple of come-ons. That's a great sign for Murray early.
Still banging his strings, Darren, like he's not completely comfortable with the tension.
I'm pretty sure, Chris, he was expecting conditions to be warmer and the ball to be flying around much more than it is today. And as I said before, the court surface is stone cold. And that's a big advantage for Djokovic, and especially because he slides around the court on this gritty plexi-cushion surface, so it allows him for the feet not to burn when he slides.
Maybe a challenge there. Yeah.
Djokovic is challenging the call on the left baseline. The ball was called out.
I think the lines people are pretty tight in this first part of this match. He did catch the line on a floating return. I'll play two again. Both guys winning a challenge in the game.
3 points.
Ane Ivanovic with the nice earrings.
Yeah, I like that look.
That's first serve. Advantage Murray.
Well, Murray said after he won his semifinal in his on-court interview when he was looking ahead, he already knew he was going to be playing Djokovic. He said, well, what kind of match you're expecting? He said, I'm expecting a brutal one. Meaning physically it's going to. And that looks exactly like what's going to happen if the early couple of games are any indication.
If he gets that, Patrick, I think he likes his chances.
Yeah, I agree. I think in the fitness department and the endurance department, he's got the edge. drop shot there.
Murray didn't get to it before it bounced twice.
Murray's questioning that. He thinks he got it.
He didn't get it.
No.
Well, he may want a grinding match because he likes his fitness. He may have expected it, but I don't think he wants to go to 5 deuces in 15 minutes.
No.
15 points to hold serve every time. Correct call.
He'd rather have the long grinding games
Exactly.
on Djokovic's serve.
Both guys can be so effective with the wide serves. And they'll like to serve to each other's forehand, I think, a lot of the night.
Yeah. Both have a big take back on the forehand. So particularly on the first serve, they'll direct a lot of first serves to the opponent's forehand. And they should get a few more cheap points off that wing. It's a lot easier to just block a big serve back with the backhand with 2 hands. Good second serve.
Nasty slicing away. A long tussle from Murray to finally hold. He's already going to send out 2 rackets to be restrung, Darren. He did this the other night.
Yeah, it actually sounds like it's a lot tight restring that he's using. You can hear the different ping off the strings from Andy Murray, which sounds pretty tight, whereas you don't hear that from Novak Djokovic. So it looks like Djokovic has got it right in the early going.
Murray normally does not have his racket strung on site. He brings a private stringer, and he's staying just across the river in an apartment, but he'll have to have these 2 restrung by different guys on site.
Yeah, they'll be restringing them looser, a little more power to get through the court.
He felt comfortable after that same change against Ferrer much earlier tonight.
Flattened out a forehand cross court. Djokovic got it back, and then he hit sort of a heavy ball right there up to the backhand, and that gave Djokovic all sorts of trouble. This is just a terrible decision there. That's going to give Murray a lot of confidence to continue that kind of play.
It's a late decision to try the dropper instead of trying to deal with that heavy high shot.
Yeah, it's a shot you have to physically be ready to deal with. You got to get your feet back in position. You got to play defense there. Djokovic, I think, is finding out early that penetrating the defense of Murray might prove to be more difficult than penetrating the defense of Roger Federer.
Novak said in his press conference he expected lots of long, probing rallies.
Murray did all the hard work, got up to the drop shot no problem, and just didn't go after that overhead there, Darren.
Yeah, just feeling for his leg straight after that one as well. Got nothing to blame there. It's perfect conditions, no wind to speak of. And straight after he missed this, he just tapped his right leg a couple of times.
Yeah, it looked like he was mouthing to himself, feet, move your feet, get in position.
He says that a lot. Had an opening here, 15-30. A couple of mistakes, giving Djokovic a game point. Neither guy at this point, Patrick, thrilled with the way they're playing. Kind of a tense start, as you'd expect, with so much in the line for both guys.
Kind of feeling each other out. To me, Murray looks more comfortable at the moment. As his game, I think, is troubling Djokovic a little more than Djokovic thought early.
Murray sends in ball on the left serve. The ball was called in.
And there's the first unsuccessful challenge of the night, so point to Djokovic.
Also a weird time to challenge there, Chris, because Murray made that return and only landed out by a couple of inches, but he caught it really early when the ball was in the air.
Oh boy. Garner overruling the call. We're seeing a little tension from the lines people tonight in this final.
It's about half on, half off, Andy, but we got it right in the end.
Half on, half off. We got it right in the end. There's Garner. But Djokovic really working up the line in this rally, Patrick. Game plan.
Yeah, he's very good at going up the line off both wings. And I think he's going to have to, because Murray is, look at our shot spot here, just caught the line. Murray's showing off his defense here. He's long, he's limber, and he's fast.
On serve, opening set. The Australian Open final. Both guys would love to win the last point of this match, but the first set does go a long ways. When they met in the previous 7 meetings, in the last 6 since that topsy-turvy one Brad mentioned in the Open, the winner of the opening set has won in straight sets. So they've not been in majors.
This is their first time in a major, but all their previous appearances against each other were in Master Series events.
Yeah, big stages for sure. Cincinnati and Miami finals. Most recently a couple years ago, but the first set winner has really been bolstered by that and gone on to close it out.
Second seat for now, ready for play. Net for serve.
Djokovic appears to be looking for that serve out wide here. Was burned by that a few times in Murray's opening service game. Murray a little too passive with that backhand there, and Djokovic takes advantage. Interesting to see both these players have really been the modern player with, you know, the big whippy forehands and the two-handed backhands, but they both are very comfortable with those slice backhand. And they've added that. You see the two-handed players now all adding that to their repertoire. It was Mats Wilander was the first to really employ that. He beat Ivan Lendl in the U.S. Open final. The first meaning a guy that was a predominantly two-handed player, and you know, mixed in the slice. But these young players now coming up, you know, really learn how to do everything, and the reason they've learned how to play the slice is to keep their opponents at bay, to keep the ball low. You know, with the new technology and the rackets and the strings, you know, anything up in the strike zone, the players can get around and really dictate with the big forehands.
Players are getting taller and taller, so if you can hit a good slice,
that's exactly right.
More guys trouble. It's almost required, you think, to be a top player with the two-hander. You have to have that weapon.
And because you also have to defend a lot more, and so when you're stretched out wide, it's hard to defend with two hands.
Djokovic can defend too, but he didn't want to play too many points like that. Saw Federer time and again having to defend with his one-handed backhand on the run against Djokovic and just getting worn down on that side.
Yeah, well,
great balance, Djokovic.
Yeah, he's probably got the best balance of any guy out there. Federer's problem is that he doesn't have the two-handed backhand on the high ball, so that's the one that gives him trouble. These guys have two hands, so the high one doesn't bother them as much.
Defense to instant offense.
Oh, that was terrific ball control from Djokovic in that rally. And Murray showing his speed. Look how far back Murray is. Djokovic right on top of the baseline. And look at the little steps. And he gets over there in enough time to hit the two-hander. Beautiful shot. This is going to be an absolute road war tonight. 30 minutes. We're not even done with 4 games.
Andy, you wanted it. You might get it. He holds with his second ace for 2-all. Play BC is your home for NBA's Sunday Showcase at 1 o'clock Eastern. The division-leading Miami Heat and all their stars take on Kevin Durant and the Thunder at 3:30. It's a rematch of last year's NBA Finals as the Celtics go to L.A. to face the Lakers. It all starts with Buick Regal. NBA Countdown 12:30 Eastern later today on ABC. We appreciate your commitment to be up early or late to watch this Grand Slam final.
The real
have some coffee handy.
The real tennis fans are up.
The Stringers area is in a small building just outside Rod Laver Arena, and they're busy working on the 2 re-strings that he sent out. 57 pounds is what they're stringing him at. That's the same tension that he went to with the re-string against Ferrer.
It worked well the other night, so.
Takes about 15 to 18 minutes if you're really fast.
Trust me, those guys are fast.
It's a little unusual though to string it with 2 different guys there and then not having the same guy string them.
You know, Chris, I'm actually really surprised he didn't have a couple of variations in his bag. Most of the players have 8 to 10 rackets, and normally if you're not quite sure on the conditions out there, you would take a couple of variations.
Well, you know, Darren, tennis players are superstitious, so maybe he figured I'll do the same thing I did the other night.
That's a good point.
He always brings 2 tensions, but maybe he wants something that he didn't expect.
You'd be amazed what goes on inside a tennis player's mind when it comes to this before he asked for the white towel. You know, they give the players the colorful towels. He said we want a white one. Maybe because he switched to it, he was down a set against Ferrer. Ooh, both guys having some trouble with overheads here early.
I know it goes into an ex-tennis player's mind. I get a big fill of that.
That's scary, so, right? You get plenty of that between me, Darren, and Brad.
Exactly. Marian Vida has seen some signs of the obvious tension in his guy in the early going. But both have put that on display. Murray was moving that way, but no excuse for missing that one. Murray's camp is just over his right shoulder, already giving them an earful. Won't be the last time. Well, the few times Djokovic has really gone after the first serve tonight, he's been sending off-speed deliveries most of the early part of this set.
Again, Djokovic.
Get to the tense part of the opening set coming up. The last stringer standing here at the Australian Open. That place is very busy earlier in the tournament, but I'm told that's Todd and Len from the Wilson team stringing up those rackets there, and you know they're almost to 3,500 for the tournament. 3,497.
Was that including these two?
Including those two.
Okay.
Got to send out 3 more just to get to an even 3,500.
Yeah.
If you're curious.
Based on the first 5 games of this match, they better stick around for a while, those guys.
Yeah, they'd better not mess up this last 2.
No.
Could be the most important 2.
Costs about $45 to have a racket restrung. They keep a tab for each player and just subtract it from the prize money when you go collect your check.
Yeah, a few players have been known to kind of sneak out, so that way they decided, well, I think we'll just take it out of their prize money. Yeah, good idea.
Were you one of those?
No.
Paid up?
Always paid.
Was one of them in this arena
bills.
and another Superbox? He didn't pay his bills? It's a big cut for Murray. He has more pop. He has the ability to win a few more points with the first serve as compared with Djokovic, who's an excellent spot server. He wondered which guy would get the better of those second serve points.
Yeah, that's going to be key. That'll be key to watch. At the moment, it's Djokovic. Djokovic just came into this tournament with so much confidence, having led his country to the Davis Cup last year for Serbia. That was huge for him. Didn't have much of an off season. He talked about that, but he paced himself, went to the Hopman Cup, that exhibition, which also Murray went to, where it's 1 man and 1 woman on each representing their country in a team event. And both players got to Melbourne over a week early.
It can't be overstated what winning that Davis Cup meant for Djokovic. And they just put up, well, I was going to ask you a trivia question. Now you can see on the monitor. I don't know if Darren, if it's a spoiler alert for Darren. I was going to ask you the last guy to win a Davis Cup and then begin the next year with a major title. And it's our friend Jim Courier. They're all over it in the graphics department.
I like
There's
that.
No opportunity to get these questions
I
in
like
before they.
You're bringing the little questions early, Chris. Don't empty the bucket, though, too soon, because you might need something for hour 3, 4, and 5 in this match.
We've got him portioned out.
Good. Jim Courier's down here with Channel 7, the host broadcaster here in Australia. Of course, our new Davis Cup captain.
Back-to-back years over Edberg in the final, 92, 93.
Well, one of those years was brutal heat. I remember the final. But Jim cooled off and jumped in the old Yarra River. Just
the winner tonight will not do that. I'll make a prediction.
No.
That is flowing brown and nasty right now.
Murray.
So Murray's still able to play a fairly passive style. He's not been very aggressive. And
3 games all.
Djokovic providing 12 unforced errors, and so here we are at 3-all. We'll see which guy's game plan will be more successful in the important end of this set.
No, I like Murray so far. I like the way he's playing. I think he's letting Djokovic know that it's going to be very hard for the Serbian to hit winners tonight. In fact, Djokovic has only hit 3, and he has 12 errors. There's number 4, and he's still hitting his racket with the tension.
I'm a little bit the other way, Patrick. I'm liking the way Novak's timing the ball. Murray's mishitting every third ball and leaves a lot of balls short. And I know he's relying on his defensive skills, but I just worry about doing that over the course of 5 sets. I think Novak's timing the ball beautifully.
Nice.
It was well timed.
Yep.
Murray has not been unleashing the ground strokes with the same aggression as he did against Ferrer.
Well, he did later in the match against Ferrer. He didn't early on, and there's an example of that high ball that these players can just accelerate and go after.
Nice pass, low. Djokovic unable to deal with it.
30-15.
It's a big mistake to come to the net against both of these guys when they can get 2 hands on the backhand pass. They have great passing shots from the backhand side.
Each guy can go both directions with confidence right there.
Exactly.
Djokovic is so good at jumping on that short ball off that well-directed first serve. Again, not a big serve, as you noted, Chris, but right in the corner. And when he gets that first serve in, boy, he backs it up. 12 of 13 now on his first serve points. Boy, both players with impressive numbers on the first serve.
Murray still looking at his racket, waiting for the restring.
Djokovic leads 4 games to 3.
Roof closed all day with temperatures here in Australia over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. They open it just about 20 minutes before this match. So beautiful conditions on the hottest day of the Australian Open by far. And things heating up inside Rod Laver. No breaks. The only break point was for Djokovic. Murray's first service game, that marathon game, he couldn't convert. And as you said, Patrick, both guys in command when they get the first serve in. So who can serve better near the end of this opening set?
Oh, Murray with this forehand winner actually has one more winner than Djokovic.
Slice giving Djokovic trouble again. He's gripping now at his left shoulder, which is not unusual to see him clutching. He's at different times in this tournament had some of that, again, preventative tape under his shirt on the shoulder.
Not unusual to see both guys.
No. Be unusual if we went through a match
parts
without seeing a bunch of it.
During Murray's win over Ferrer, at one point he kind of grabbed his leg, grabbed his hip flexor.
It was a late call of a double fault. Murray spinning around and deciding against the challenge. His first double. Defending, Djokovic taking much bigger cuts and finally hitting well long. And Murray's three-string rackets making their way. Good hustle. You down the ramp, you take a left turn, you go past the little area where the players warm up. This is now inside Rod Laver Arena. Just a short trot to the corner of the court. Game point for 4-all. Not a good game for Djokovic. Some misses and a pretty comfortable hold for Murray.
Novak just took a quick look down the court. Then he was about to challenge. Nanny told him the ball was wide, and Novak accepted it.
The old doubles partners, old good buddies. They don't need any lines people out there.
Oh, I bet you they do. Especially if this thing gets deep into a fourth or a fifth. I'm not buying the buddies thing.
You're not going for it?
No? Not really.
Okay.
don't think there's any real antagonism or serious tension or friction between them, but these guys know that as the man they consider their biggest rivals across the net, I don't know how buddy they can really be. They're always in the other opposite halves of the draw at every tournament because they've been neighbors in the rankings for a few years. So it gives them lots of chances to practice against each other, you know, share court time.
Right.
But they're not really going to dinner with each other.
A few more balls spraying off the racket of Djokovic the last couple of games. Do you think Murray is kind of slowly but surely is taking Djokovic out of his tempo a little bit? Djokovic likes to play fast. He likes to be aggressive. He's got 6 winners and 15 errors.
Murray is challenging the call on the right far sideline. Ball's called in.
He's still walking.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he buys it.
Darren, what have you seen from Djokovic in this last game and a half?
Well, I think that obviously he's lost a couple of forehands which have gone way long, but beyond that I think he's looked pretty solid. He's the one that's actually structuring the points, and he's moving Murray around, and he's playing a real purpose here. I think Murray's just locking down his side of the court. He's trying to shrink it and make Novak panic. He's made a couple of errors off the forehand, but by and large he looks pretty good.
Great defense there from Djokovic on that one backhand. He got stretched out. Do that little slide he likes to do and get there and get enough on the backhand.
For me, I really worry when Andy Murray hits every ball with the same pace and the same amount of spin. You know, he needs, on occasions, you don't have to do it all the time, but on occasions you need to quicken up the swing and put an extra 10% and surprise Djokovic with a little extra pace. He's not doing that.
Yes.
No breaks yet.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2011, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
Twilight in this beautiful city of a little bit more than 2 million people on the south coast of Australia. Rod Laver Arena packed with 15,000. The backyard and the front yard of this place packed with people watching on big screens. Murray at 4-5, his most pressurized service game so far. And the one break chance in that 14-minute game, his first service game of the set. Djokovic, no break chances since then. That's a nervy start.
Yep, second double.
Got to tell you, this is very reminiscent to the first set against Roger Federer in the final last year. The first 6 games when they played a little cat and mouse, then all of a sudden Roger raised the tempo towards the end of the first set, and I get the sense that's what Djokovic did in the last game. Murray needs to watch out here.
And he's been criticized for being too passive in his 2 Grand Slam finals. Well-placed serve and nothing passive about the forehand.
Good aggressive serve, too, at 124 miles an hour.
Play the great defense doesn't let your opponent decide what happens in the points, for better or worse.
Oh, beautifully done.
Just like that, it's Djokovic taking command, and how good your defense is. You're not running that shot down.
Boy, he transitioned beautifully to Djokovic from defense in the middle of that rally, and then takes the ball right inside the baseline. The combination, 2 straight forehands up the line.
Djokovic suddenly 2 points from the set. It's getting good now. Wow.
Djokovic came in, he was completely out of breath when he just finally came in. And Murray was out of breath. He couldn't get his legs into that shot. What a rally of 39 shots.
What Djokovic said he was prepared for. In almost an hour of play in this opening set, Djokovic has outlasted Murray to create set points. See what effect that rally has on each man in this point. Tough to defend 2 set points after all that. Called out late. If the call was correct, Djokovic grabs the set. Murray is challenging, so stand by. But he's also walked to his chair. That is a miss, and Djokovic just grabs away that service break and the first set against Andy Murray.
Welcome back to our live coverage on ESPN2 of the Men's Championship, the Australian Open 2011. Novak Djokovic taking the first set off of Andy Murray. Thrilling points, long points in that set with Brad Gilbert. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris McHenry, and it also marks the first time in the Open era a player has lost his first 7 sets in Grand Slam finals, as Andy Murray swept in straight sets the other 2 times he's been in a final, Brad, and now he's dropped this one.
There was nothing in that set through the first 10 games until Novak made his move. Couple of long rallies, but really, to me, the difference in that first set for Novak Djokovic was his great spot serving. He hit his spots, and he was able to take control, winning 16 out of 17 first serve points. But one thing to look for me, I thought at 2-all, and let's have a look at the numbers there. 44% on the first serve percentage for Murray. He was going for a lot on the first serve, and I don't think he was fearing his second serve until that last game. But to me, this match now, I still think the big factor that I saw at 2-all and you saw there at 5-4 was that deep breathing from Novak Djokovic. So I think it's something to really look for early in the second set, and look for Andy Murray to maybe make an adjustment in his game, to work a little slices and try to come forward. Test out the fitness of Novak Djokovic.
We're going to see him big shoulders up, shoulders down from Novak Djokovic. Again, we should mention a really hot day, but the roof has been closed. It's not very hot on the court to see him really gasping.
Yeah, no, he was really gasping, and I think that first set was huge for Novak Djokovic. But to me, this early second set will really tell a lot about his fitness.
Okay, let's get it back to Chris and Patrick.
It's hard not to gasp after a 39-ball rally, corner to corner.
They were doing some road work there.
But he was able to win the next point and grab this set. And Murray, as you pointed out, Patrick, probably felt pretty good about how the game plan was working until a couple of points there. And he showed some frailty, the double fault early in that game.
Well, he made the adjustment against David Ferrer, and then he got a little more offensive. He started to take the ball a bit earlier, particularly off his backhand side. Obviously, Djokovic hits a bigger ball and a better ball more consistently than Ferrer, but we'll see if Murray tries to adjust his positioning early in this set. Talk about the feel and the guile of Andy Murray, and Djokovic shows some right there with that little combination.
Also shows that maybe he doesn't want to play 39-ball rallies all that often. He'd love to be efficient in his service games. The longer games and the harder work have been when Murray's serving.
40.
Still tremendously efficient whenever he does spot serve, as Brad says, and get that first serve in. Murray's had no answers at all.
No.
If he doesn't get ahead in the rally on the second serve point, he hasn't been able to deal with it. Very chilly, the winter in Belgrade. I'd rather be in Melbourne.
28. That's actually pretty warm for Belgrade this time of year. Dunblane 34.
It was over 100 Fahrenheit earlier in the day.
Scotland has a population of just over 5 million. I'm sure most of those people will be holding their breath from this match.
Very quiet there on a Sunday morning, except when they're in the pubs watching this one. Murray have to make a statement right here, the first service game of the second set.
He's got to tighten things up for sure. I'm not sure it'll be a statement if he holds, but if he gets broken, it'll be a negative statement.
Yeah.
He's got to stay even here.
These finals have been dominated in recent years by Federer and Nadal, two guys that play aggressively and go out and take the title. What about the notion that you have to? That's a frequent refrain to his camp to Jake Gardner. He's been telling everybody around him to
telling
relax.
them to relax.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, usually it'd be the other way around.
That shot's really been the separation of this match so far when they get into these baseline rallies. It's Novak having the willingness to step up and take a little spin off the ball and hit that forehand down the line. He knows every time he chips his backhand to Murray's forehand, Murray's going cross-court with that. He's setting him up for the big forehand down the line.
Murray telling those around him to relax. Maybe he feels like he's got Djokovic where he wants him, but nobody else in here sees
No.
that right now. Not only has he not won a set in the 7 that he's played in a final, but he hadn't lost a set to Djokovic in the last 6.
I think this is a different day. It's a different match. I don't think either of those is really that important. I mean, to me, he's a lot more comfortable in the way he's playing. Obviously, he's been outplayed in the last 10 minutes. And I don't compare this so far to what we saw last year in the final. I think he was really passive. I mean, this is the way he plays. You know, he counter punches, and again, we'll see if he makes that adjustment to get on offense a little bit more. But it's hard against Djokovic the way he's playing.
It's better hitting.
Yeah, that time he went after the backhand a little bit more there and took it up the line.
He's got lots of different ways he can play, though. He came out against Nadal a year ago and was raw aggression from the first ball and surprised Nadal and was beating him before Nadal had the knee problem and retired. And then, came out a couple days later and it was a different game plan against Federer. So he can calibrate and recalibrate, but you think he can win a final playing a kind of a rope-a-dope style?
No, I didn't say that. No, I definitely didn't say that. That's a big forehand there.
I mean, it's been done, but not by that many guys that often. Usually aggression is the formula for winning a major final.
Well, he's had some problems in the past with his contact lenses at times, and
I think he was asking for the drops, the solution that'll be brought over in the changeover. Not too many top players wear contacts, do they?
that one I don't have the stats on.
No?
No.
Advantage Djokovic.
Murray hadn't been broken and hadn't faced a break point since the opening game of the first set, now on the verge of thumping serve in back-to-back games. Good answer in the fist pump.
Yeah, he's needing the first serve because Djokovic is starting to really make Murray pay on those second serves.
First serve bailed him out against David Ferrer in a big way.
Challenge. Both go back.
No, I think it's a little further back.
Just missed.
That's a big use of technology. Second serve coming now on break point.
He's too quick.
Decision making under pressure. Not there that time for Murray. And Djokovic from 4-all has now won 4 straight games. And that little motion that Murray makes with his mouth, that is his tell for tension. And he may be telling his camp to relax, Patrick, but I think he's under it right now.
Now he is
under
for
pressure.
sure.
And I think he's feeling it.
Well, he's feeling Djokovic's game, which is, he's started to step up and really smother Murray. He tried to amp up his groundies a little bit in that game, but it forced him into a couple errors.
Not just the last 4 games. Djokovic has now won his last 13 sets here at the Australian Open. Ivan Dodig, an opponent that didn't really trouble him, and Djokovic wasn't playing that well in the second round. Lost a tight 10-8 tiebreak, and not a set since then.
No. He ran away with the last 2 sets in that match.
Yep. Djokovic does so much sliding on a hard court. He will frequently change his shoes in the match to get better traction. That time the splits.
Showing a little flexibility there.
A little too much. Didn't that just look dangerous as a player and risk of injury?
Pretty amazing flexibility and strength. It's not just Kim Clijsters that can do the splits on the run.
Although she does it best.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely. There's some tame looking backhands there from Murray.
30-15.
He may have come ready for a 15-round fight thinking he can wear down his opponent, but he's falling farther behind on the scorecard right now.
Djokovic continuing to use his up the line shots off both wings, and the problem now for Murray is that a lot of these points are going quickly. So even if he were able to, be behind in the score, if he was making his opponent work, he might think, okay, well, I could wear him down. Like in the first set, there was a lot of long points, but not now. This is playing right into Djokovic's hands.
Djokovic stretching the lead. Murray falling in a little bit of a deeper hole here on Rod Laver Arena.
Djokovic leads.
Djokovic from 4-all in the first, shifting into a different gear, looks completely untroubled, very confident right now.
I agree 100%, Chris. I didn't think that at 4-all.
No.
But now he's completely turned it around.
I don't think Murray saw it
turned
coming.
it up. No.
Murray has to change things up big time here. Every point is like Groundhog Day apart from the serve. So Djokovic is planning it, and he's working the plan beautifully. Get to the Murray forehand, cover the cross court, and burn him with it down the line. Murray needs to take his forehand down the line more aggressively when he gets the chance.
He's an excellent problem solver.
Another lazy looking swing on the backhand side.
He's in a real lull right now. Checks his box to see if they think he should challenge.
Oh, wow.
It's all coming undone right now.
Boy.
Wow, you see that look? And straight across to Djokovic's camp.
They call out after that misfired forehand, Darren.
Oh, yeah.
How friendly are things right now? There's the look back at the camp, which is just over his left shoulder now. It's in.
Wow. Djokovic has stayed home there. This is getting away from Murray in a hurry.
I got news for you, Andy. That box over there that's cheering for Djokovic, they're not going to quiet down if you keep missing balls like that.
You have a bunch of Serbians sitting right above that box as well, and they're making a lot of noise.
3 break points for a 2-break lead in a string of 6 straight games.
Oh, wow.
What's Brad's favorite word? Disheveled?
Yeah, the wheels have come off.
Those boys. Oh, no. Is there a dress code for the final? There ought to be.
It's like a version of Borat.
Yikes. Well, they're up and making lots of noise, and their man is in total command. This has been 21 nightmarish minutes for Murray so far this second set. Biggest forehand of the night.
Yeah, he needs to take some swings just to kind of get some stress out of his body. And where's this been all night? He's had plenty of looks at some second serves. Unbelievable shot there. That ball was wide and pretty low. And Djokovic still just cracked it up the line. Look how low this ball is. He makes contact just around the knee level and is able to get that much pace on it over the high part of the net. Well, he's confident right now. That's 20-6 points in this set. Would never have expected a set like this after the opening 8 games. Now Murray's starting to think about those other straight set losses, Chris, because this is bordering on embarrassing, this set.
Bordering on?
Yeah.
We may have crossed the border.
Okay. Well, he finally ripped a couple of forehands up the line like Darren had been calling for him. He still couldn't win the point.
Djokovic toying with his rival. 5-love. The folks outside went for a round of beers after the first set and then came back. They wonder, what's happened here? Djokovic blitzing Murray in a hurry. 5 games in about 25 minutes. And he's just a winning game away from a commanding lead in this final. Unless Murray can change his attitude, his game plan, he's en route to a 3rd straight set exit in the Grand Slam final in his career.
This is where it's really important for his box to start to get up and get him motivated, just to get him ready for the 3rd set, because this set is gone, but you need that positive momentum going into the 3rd. A hold here, get up, show some enthusiasm, get him fired up again.
So maybe when he told them to relax, they should ignore that, huh?
Correct. He's put them in the sleeper hold.
Oh, my goodness. Well, yeah, just horrendous body language from Murray as well.
Tosses in a feeble 2nd serve. Djokovic rips away. There's Jez Green trying to provide something besides enthusiasm. What would you tell him after this set? You're thinking?
I'm dumbfounded, to be honest.
Make a first serve. Be a start.
Well, I think you got to make it about X's and O's if possible. You don't want to say, hey, get right in the guy's face and say, hey, this is a Grand Slam final. You got to show some energy here.
We talked about this head-to-head when Djokovic just dominated Murray in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th meetings. There were sets like this, but that was Andy Murray as a young guy before he'd arrived, before he was a contender. This is an awful flashback.
Well, there's the pattern again. Djokovic draws it up.
This looks very much like some of those sets Brad was talking about when he coached Murray. You know, a 1-in-love beating in Miami. Love in 4 in Monte Carlo and Clay. I mean, Murray had completely turned the tables head-to-head till this match. Set point for a 2-set lead.
It was almost an in-your-face kind of swing. Like, I can just do whatever I want. I mean,
it wasn't love 40.
No.
Yeah. You do see players, you know, Rafa and Roger come to mind, Patrick, in the rare instances when they are down, will try to get themselves going, get some kind of mojo on the court, and they hit a shot. There's just nothing for Murray when he plays a good point. He's on the board in the 2nd set.
Right here is where Murray's camp should be working on him.
Djokovic leads 5 games to 1.
Nothing but a couple of claps. There's concern on those faces.
Yeah.
few people standing up behind Djokovic. That's why we're waiting. The hold snapped the string. Djokovic consecutive games at 7. Turning point that service came at 4-0 when he amped it up and then got the break. That's much better.
Really struggling with his eyes tonight. Not sure if it's his eyesight or the focus, but continues to rub his fingers through his eyes.
Djokovic kind of a casual service game, and now Murray has 3 break chances.
He's doing it again there, Chris. In fact, going to the towel now, continuing to squeeze his eyes together with his fingers.
It's nerves, Darren?
Maybe.
You can see him still blinking. It's long. Murray waited a long time to get a great point tonight. He finally grabs it, but it's still 5-2 for Djokovic. So Djokovic loses serve for the first time tonight, but still in command at 5-2. And the changeover, Murray continues to mess with his eyes. Darren spotted this. Just repeatedly blinking.
Very strange.
Yeah. Doesn't wear contacts. Again goes to his eyes. You guys ever had anything like that happen, or any kind of explanation other than maybe just a nervous thing?
I can't think of anything, Chris. I mean, it's completely out of left field. Nope.
Love 13.
Well, it goes back to the eyes again. He looks like he's dazed. And he's playing like he's dazed.
He's also hitting plenty of decent shots, too. If you really had a problem seeing the ball,
no,
I don't think you could play one shot like that.
Djokovic is challenging the call on the left near sideline. The ball is called out.
So much of the game plan, those redirected backhands up the line, and he's done a great job executing it. Missed that one.
That was a much better point from Murray, though, because that's one of the few times that he's been run from side to side and on a string. He's actually been able to turn defense into offense, and at least he got back to neutral there, and he made Novak take a risky backhand down the line.
And that was his reaction after that point, which was not optimistic if you're in the Murray camp. What defense. Wow.
They look a lot more into it than Murray does right now.
Yeah.
His fans.
It's the worst he's looked physically, and it's the best he's played in the last couple of games.
I'll stop asking you for explanations when it comes to the mystery of Andy Murray.
No, my medical background is insufficient.
That lack of footwork again hurting Andy Murray. It's good that he's trying to take that forehand down the line, because you can see he could drive a truck through there, because Djokovic is really covering the cross court. But again, you need to get yourself out of the way to execute that shot effectively.
Those are seagulls, not buzzards. Although Murray, despite this rally, so very close to a two-set hole.
That's amazing. Unbelievable shot.
Standing out from the serves.
Forehand on the dead run. You talk about balance and movement and acceleration. It's all in that one shot right there. Look at the backhand defense, and then this shot. Amazing. Quickly gets up to pounce on that short one, and
set point. Djokovic set away from his second Grand Slam title. We'll see if Murray is out of answers.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2011, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
And welcome back. It was back in 1965. Roy Emerson came back from 2-0 in the final of the Australian Open to beat the fiery one, Brad Gilbert, Fred Stolle. Such history will need to be matched at least tonight, as Andy Murray's dropped the first two to Novak Djokovic. It's our Franklin Templeton featured matchup, the men's championship. And with Brad Gilbert, I want to take you back to the tail of the tape.
I need to make an adjustment in that.
You do. 2 checks each for the serve, and that's not the way it's going.
No, I tell you what, the brilliant serving from Novak Djokovic has continued, and like a great pitcher, he's hitting his spots, and when he hits his spots, he's able to take control of the point. Nice wide one, first ball forehand, thank you very much. Now we go to the ad court, and he hits the wide one. Gets the weak reply with one hand, thank you very much. Now you've set the tables with the wide one, opens up down the middle. And let's take a look at this point at 4-0. This is Novak Djokovic in full flight, doing what Andy Murray does to people. This is Novak Djokovic with the great defense, transition tennis, and look at that offense. And he comes in, and thank you very much. Easy sneak volley. I mean, what an unbelievable 2 sets. And to me, Andy Murray has got to want it more. And that's the difference so far in this match. Novak Djokovic wants it more. And can somebody call room service for Andy Murray, get him some Visine, and how about a double espresso, and let's wake up and get some energy going.
Well, Darren Cahill called it. He said Andy Murray's camp. Andy Murray, he needs some enthusiasm. He needs to get in to this match. So let's get it back to the 3rd set with Patrick and Chris. Chris?
Thank you, Chris and Brad.
Well, boy,
especially going up here.
Therein lies the problem. And if you show this kind of energy in a Grand Slam final, I mean, what in the world is going on?
This is what's frustrated people who want to be his fans, and frustrated the Brits. This time it's not an informed Federer in the final.
No.
It's a good player.
It's a very good player.
Very good player who's playing well, but you still want to see more from your guy if you're a Murray fan.
Some fire.
If nothing else, to send Djokovic a message, this is not going to be a walk in the park. He's a great front runner. When he's not feeling stress, when he's comfortable and confident out there, and he thinks the 3rd set's going to be just like the first 2, he's untroubled. Wouldn't you try to do something?
No, absolutely. It's music to my ears, Chris, believe me.
That looping shot that caught the line. Little opening for Murray.
Love 30.
You know, pressure and tension can do crazy things to the mind and to the body. And in the last changeover after the set, Murray backed up at his camp and said, you know, be quiet. So that's, you know, unless he knows something that everybody else doesn't, he's in huge trouble.
That's pressure.
Okay, that's a good sign, though. Straight away here in these early points, he's putting a little more effort into his groundies. You can hear the grunting. He's getting a little upset, and he's got his focus firmly attention on Djokovic. Early signs here for Murray are good, and they have to be.
Even calling out frustration is a good sign.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Something.
Look at that one big step from Murray. He's just, his feet are just stuck in the court. Just got down that set, and then that quick break in the second set, and I think the mind just started playing tricks on him.
A cross step there?
Yeah, very bizarre.
That looked good.
Murray sends in the call on the right baseline.
Djokovic told him it was good.
Yep. Be interesting to see what the umpire does if he gives the point to Murray.
Nope.
No, Murray's not looking to take it. He's just waiting on the ad corner.
Swing from Djokovic. Still telling his camp to calm down. The ones that love you most are the ones that feel the brunt of the frustration. The dark side. Murray has a pretty dark side, but he's starting to get into this more. Give a come on after Djokovic miss. Maybe getting a lead in this set is what he needs. His camp on their feet and breaks to open the third. Signs of life after all.
Djokovic missed a pretty routine backhand at deuce. Of course, Judy Murray helped get Andy and his older brother Jamie into tennis at a young age. So she's seen plenty of tennis in her day, and Murray finally giving his cam something to get up about.
She says,
get up. Yeah.
It's Andy Ireland, the man they call Needles in the red shirt, his physio. Jez Green is his trainer, and now he's not telling him to quiet down. And that's the first positive emotion we've seen in about an hour from him.
Yep.
Judy was a player, left Scotland, tried to make it on the tour, and then produced two sons, and basically taught them how to play later. Got her certificate and became coach in Scotland. See if Murray can build on the break. Djokovic made that a very tricky half volley.
That's unbelievable movement from Djokovic.
It has been a while since the fiery one surrendered that two-set lead. Only 45 years. The man's done what Murray's trying to do.
Yeah. Thought it was 75 years.
Oh, whatever. That's it. That other thing.
All right.
Yeah.
The 89-mile-an-hour second serve just in the middle of the box, just not nearly good enough. And we talked about tracking the number over the course of the match, and it's telling tale right now for Andy Murray. Not a pleasant one. 31% he's won points on his second serve. Djokovic, meanwhile, winning 50%, which is a pretty good number.
Yeah, and he's also having to hit a lot more second serves. He's been serving well, a very good percentage for him in this tournament, but that has gone away here in the final. Down at 49%.
Oh, boy.
15-14.
That's the
Again,
footwork here.
yelling himself to move.
Yeah, because he's just standing there waiting for the ball, and he had an opportunity there to take a stutter step forward, to step in with the left leg a little bit. It's just frozen. No, you could see that miss coming. We could just see it. Didn't even bring the racket up early. He waited to the last second to bring the racket up to hit an overhead.
Barking in his camp again. Djokovic gets the break back, and that momentum for Murray was short-lived. That was the positive momentum.
This is really where having an experienced coach in his camp would be helping him right now. Just saying the right thing. I don't know Andy well enough to know what to say, but you're either looking for something of inspiration or to challenge him or to get him angry. There's something that has to be said to change things around and get him fired up in the right manner.
And you don't think his mom can do that, Darren?
I think it's really tough. The mum's really there to be a mum. It's a fine line to cross. I think that's really the job for a coach. And if Alex was in his box, I'm sure he would know what to say. Alex Corretja, that is. But at 2 sets to love down in a Grand Slam final, there's no way I'm letting my guy go down without a fight. I'd be saying something.
Alex Corretja works with Murray at times, the great Spanish former clay courter who's worked with him in Miami, but it was never the plan to come down here. And Danny Valverde, a buddy of Andy's since he was about 14, a college tennis player, a former Davis Cup for Venezuela. That's his coach by name, but more a friend than a coach, to be honest.
He looks slow today.
Yeah, really does. Taking those long, big, kind of lunging steps.
For a guy with great hands, Patrick, he often has average or below average footwork. He gets away with it because he's got great hands, but isn't this what you do all that dry land training for, all that work on the track?
You would think so.
Have your legs ready. Look, the match 2 nights ago with Ferrer was fairly taxing, but he felt he came out of it okay. Wouldn't mention any problems in the legs.
This is more mental than physical, let's be honest. I mean, this is the pressure of the situation. I think Darren brings up a really good point about the coach, because, I mean, let's be frank. I mean, Murray's never, since when Brad Gilbert coached him, Corretja's part-time.
Yep. Miles McClagan was fired after Wimbledon.
Yeah, I mean, Murray's basically the boss. Isn't that the kind of the sense you get, Darren, from his camp?
Yes.
That's fine when things are going well and you're winning.
Djokovic is challenging the call on the right service line. The ball's got out.
That's good.
Murray's counter would be, I guess, Patrick, he's gotten to the final without a formal coach, but it's in these moments.
Yeah.
When what you and Darren are saying,
exactly.
These moments when the coach needs to step forward and figure out what the missing ingredient is. How to push the button.
Well, I think that's it. I think that's where Darren's experience, he knows that when dealing that one-on-one.
So Rod serve in the third set. It was 3 years ago in this court. Djokovic broke into the Club of Grand Slam champions. Age 20, after taking out Federer in the semifinals in straight sets. Came from behind to beat the crowd favorite that night, Joe Willie Tsonga. He's waited 12 majors for his second title. Throw a question out there, Patrick, to our fans. That gap of 12 majors may not seem like a long time because Rafa and Roger have been dominating, but it's a pretty long stretch in the open era between your first and your second major, if you're going to get a second one. Who has a longer gap? I know you know the answer, but let's let our viewers think about that.
On the men's side.
On the men's side, yeah, sure. Okay. And only in the open era.
Andre Agassi?
First and second major. To Andre was a contender, but Darren, let's let the viewers weigh in. Murray's going to dig in at all and show some fight, show that he wants this title, conquer the nerves, whatever it is. He needs to show it right in this game. And then keep showing it, but it would be nice.
Yeah, definitely needs to show it here for sure. Just a bad time to go for the backhand down the line. You're off balance. Got to play that safely cross court, get back into the point. Just a total bailout there for Murray. In fact, this whole match is a total bailout up until now.
You have to ask yourself, Patrick, here's this guy who's won 6 Masters 1000 events, which is the most in the open era without winning a major. And they're really hard to win. You play a good player every day, but it's not best of 5, and it's not the same pressure as a major. And you have to begin to ask, is there something in Murray's makeup that inhibits him these big moments? 2 break points. 8 straight sets lost in finals, and I know it's Federer and a very good player in Djokovic, but many of those sets have not been very inspired efforts.
Well, that's the biggest factor to me. I mean, if you get beat and you get outplayed, okay.
Right. Still a break point to take command of the third. Foot fault called.
Haven't heard one of those on Murray the whole tournament.
Very few on anybody all tournament.
Looks like the front foot just caught in the line.
Pretty tough second serve. Djokovic checked with his camp to see if a challenge was worthwhile.
And meanwhile, Djokovic has just been like, this is a routine walk in the park.
Flat line.
Yeah, completely. He hasn't really been forced to do anything else. He's played well. He's played solid.
Where he gets in trouble is if you can get in his kitchen, rattle him, show your presence out there. You allow this guy to play a Grand Slam final, to win this title without stressing, without feeling your game, without feeling your intensity. Another break point. You hear lots of F words from Murray on the court. He always says focus, which he said there. He says fight. There's the other one, too. You hear that one, too. But he hasn't been able to find the right admonitions for himself. Another terrible forehand with no footwork. And a fourth chance in this game. Djokovic to stretch the lead. Just barely hanging on with the big serve.
Yeah, finding a couple in this game to keep him in it. His mom continues to get up. She's at least in making the effort that Darren was sort of referring to earlier.
Oh, good hands there, pushed it along.
And Darren, I'm assuming you're not referring to the coach actually coaching, but more just kind of challenging their player, right? Is that what?
Yeah, you're just looking for something. You're looking, you know, not even if Andy gets angry with you, at least you're getting something. So you're looking to change the pattern. And it could be a word of inspiration. It could be a X and O, which is completely illegal. But just something. You throw everything. You throw the kitchen sink in this situation.
Well, break point down there in the ad court. He's now thumped a bunch of wide serves to use.
And that's 3 in a row out
this
there.
game. I mean,
and you know what? If you got a code violation for coaching at this moment, you'd take it on the chin. It would be worthwhile.
Yeah, it's like you're down, 15 in a basketball game, and the coach goes out there just to get a tee, just to wake his team up.
Judy always said she was nothing special as a player, but she was a competitor, and that's how Murray sees himself, as a tough fighter. We looked into our camera for the Open this match and said, I see myself as a fighter, a competitor, and someone who's put in tremendous amount of hard work to get here and be ready for moments like this. Can he save another break point? Pretty solid backhand to save a 6th break point in this game.
You saw a long, hard look across to the Djokovic camp from Andy Murray then as he walked back to get the balls. Even that's a good thing. Getting angry at the box.
Well, again, it's just so flat on that first shot off the return.
It was a tough return deep and at his feet, but no movement.
This happened way too many times. You're playing Novak Djokovic, the guy's the best returner in the game. You got to be ready.
Played that swinging volley, but not very well. It was a sitting duck in the middle of the court.
Didn't go after that ball at all. Just was very tame with the swinging volley. And Djokovic, realizing he's got a man who's not feeling it at all, just went right at him.
Murray checking the replays. He stumbled forward. He had another chance for a 3-1 lead. Oh, come on. Murray wasn't timid at that point. He had a couple lines, went after his shots, but Djokovic, great defending, and has the answer again, threading the passing shot.
You talk about all the times they've played against each other. Look at Djokovic just reading this play. He's done this a couple of times. And that may be the final nail.
Murray flexing the quads and the changeover. Earned that break as Murray served himself out of trouble again and again on break point. Vida up 3 winning games away now from a Grand Slam title. Who's the ultimate hero in Scotland, Andy Murray's home country, other than Sean Connery?
Who is?
William Wallace.
Okay.
Right? You got to go back about 700 years, the Braveheart.
Oh, right.
Warrior, William Wallace. Pep talk here.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
too late for that, but
yeah, we needed it like right after that first set.
And that last point was more like I was expecting from these two guys for the entire
the whole match, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that would have gotten to Djokovic a little bit, but he's played it on his terms.
Yeah, just
15 on
a real lack of consistency from Andy Murray. You know, through his first 5 matches here, he had 94 unforced errors. And in his last 2 matches now, he's got over 100.
38 tonight. As this match continues on course, Patrick, you know that the very critical British press, which is now bought into Murray as a guy that is going to end the drought. They bought in a little bit last year that he was facing Federer. Really bought in this time. He'll be roasted. Roasted.
It's good.
15-40.
And Murray caught a break with that one right there. I'm surprised Djokovic didn't move around to try to hit an overhead on that. It was inside the line and allowed Murray to get back in the point. And then he started hitting the ball.
He's got break back points.
Thank you.
Incredible the difference in Novak's serve compared to 6 months last year. It's from the line. Every time he used to throw up that ball toss for a second serve, my heart was in my mouth, and it looks so reliable now.
Yeah, it was a hitch, a mental block that he couldn't get out of for basically the entire year, 2010. Got a little bit better at the end of the year, but now it's back to the 08 version. Come on for Murray, and that's as much positive energy as we've seen in a while. Back on serve in the third. Well, Novak Djokovic broke through into the Grand Slam club here 3 years ago. Talked about the final against Tsonga. Tsonga took that opening set, and he had this place rocking. The crowd was behind him. But Djokovic found a way to get upset at himself, fight back, and the great athleticism in his game.
He really wore Tsonga down in this match physically. Just over 3 hours this match. And Djokovic just too solid as he wins the fourth set in that tiebreak to win it.
He really had to conquer some nerves in that match, some tension. It was telltale signs were all there, but he did conquer them. But it's been a 12 major wait for title number 2.
38.
He's still 3 games away. Murray trying to mount a final rally. I thought maybe your Twitter would blow up with the answer to the question I threw out there.
They got a few. They got a few.
Did they?
Yeah, they got it right.
Did they get
too.
Marat Safin?
Yep, they did.
Marat Safin waited 14 majors between his first and his second.
I think that run at the U.S. Open was just huge for Novak Djokovic as well. Not just getting to the final and playing well against Nadal there, obviously beating Federer in the semis. But remember that opening round win he had against his countryman, Troitsky. It's 2-1 down. It was probably the hottest day of the tournament there. He kind of battled through that match.
Yeah, he looked finished in that one.
Yeah, won it in 5, and well, he's played his best, really his best tennis. I mean, I know he won this title a few years ago, but the way he's played in beating Federer in the last 2 majors. And now this performance here so far tonight.
He'd agree with you. This is the best tennis he's ever played.
30.
Murray just unable to sustain the rally beyond about a game or so. He's twice broken Djokovic in this set, but double faults coming up at crucial times, donating points. He can't sustain a rally.
He's going to work so hard to get the ball past Djokovic. His defense has just been phenomenal, and he, mentally he hasn't been able to do it. There again, I mean, Djokovic is battling his way back in this game.
And neither could Federer, to be fair, because he was dismissed in straight sets. We're critical of Murray more because of the demeanor and the obvious lack of energy and fight. But Federer had no answer for Djokovic either.
Thank you.
And he eventually cracked. And is this the moment when Murray cracks for good. Break point. Went after it, kind of kicked up and pushed it long, the whack of the head. Yeah, he's so eager right now. He knows that this match is almost his.
The difference is also in that his misses, he's going for shots. So you can handle that. You can accept that. The misses from Murray have just been very passive. So then you make a shot like that because your mindset is to go for it, is to go after it.
Once again, the feet just in quicksand for Murray in that forehand.
IBM match update, those second serve points just continuing to be a real problem for Andy Murray. Another break point.
To be something going on with him. I know he normally walks around the court with that hang dog look, but constantly picking up his right leg like it's a little bit injured. He's playing with his stomach. He's playing with his eyes. The lack of energy that he's shown in this match, he must be struggling with something. It's like he willed himself to miss that smash as well. He should have let it drop.
He's tough to read sometimes, though, Darren, because there's always something, serious or not, real or imagined. There's such a history of it.
No question, Chris.
Fights out of trouble in that game. Barely hanging on.
Now's the time for Murray. It's the first time in the entire match that Djokovic has showed a little frustration.
He knows, Darren, that break for a 4-2 lead would very likely have been lights out for Murray. Had that break point when he pushed the backhand long.
10 out of 10 for Jez.
That's what you wanted to see, huh? Let's see if it has any effect. Whatever the inspiration was, Patrick, for Djokovic fixing his serve, reclaiming what he had.
Well, he claimed he couldn't even really tell what he was doing, which was he was completely locking the arm out and not bending the elbow in the take back. It almost looked painful to watch it.
Wouldn't you watch the tape in one match and figure that out?
Well, you wouldn't know he was doing
You and
it.
Cliff were dissecting it for a whole year.
Oh, yeah. No, we spent a lot of time on that.
Also, part of the reason for that, Patrick, was he went to a much heavier racket, a different balance, a different swing weight at the start of last year. So he didn't have a feeling of the racket in the hand. And now he's gone back to his old specs. He's looking for more easy power, having a heavy racket through the ball.
Well, then that decision was a great one, Darren. But it took him a long time to sort out that serve. I mean, again, more doubles than aces for a big part of the year. You can't stay in the top three that way. He found a way to do it with his ground game. But he had to fix that part to get back and be in this position.
And he did. He progressively got a little bit better during the course of the year. He sort of, at one point he was just trying to get a higher consistency in on the serve and not go for a lot, and he was able to do that. And then he said finally towards the end of the year, and when he had a little bit of time off, he was able to start trying to hit it a little bit bigger. But look at his percentage for the match. A Grand Slam final, he's serving 70%. I mean, I know he doesn't have a huge serve, but that's impressive.
Unlucky for Murray.
Well, that's the kind of tennis I expected to see from Murray right after the opening set. You know, stepping into the court, taking the backhand a little bit earlier, forcing Djokovic to react a little bit more in some of these points, but he didn't do it.
He's still in a foul mood. Djokovic tries to apologize for the net cord. Then Murray, to his camp, said, just shut up. And he embellished it. Athletic split backhand. 4-3. Djokovic.
Bobby. Chris.
In this set, he can't afford to make it 3 here.
That was kind of a bittersweet feel to the men's final down under, Patrick, as it's the last match we'll see in Australia for 50 more weeks. These folks here would like to see some more tennis.
In this third set, but he cannot afford to falter right here.
Having to step up at 3-4 now. And see if he can sustain something for more than just a game at a time. Darren, does Murray believe he can win this match?
I would doubt it right at this minute. You know, probably the nightmares of the last two finals that he's played in, not winning a set, the fact that Novak's playing great tennis, and the fact that his energy levels have been so low. I think deep down he probably knows he's not going to get this done, but he has to concentrate on this set. He can have his focus nowhere but winning this set.
Is that a problem in your mind that a guy's down 2 sets doesn't think he can win it?
Well, I'm just guessing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Because of that.
15 on.
Again, stumbling, grabbing his left leg after the shot. You know, if he continues to play this way and loses the match, I'm sure that'll come up in the press conference. Was there something physically?
Yeah.
They'll be searching for answers.
For sure, excuses.
Sure. British press is all too willing to accept excuses, but they're still going to want some answers about the performance and the game plan and the tactics and the energy.
Just a backboard there. Just amazing covering the court. And as Murray's will appears to be more and more broken, it's just strengthening the will of Djokovic in these rallies to just stay in there, because he knows that he probably is not going to have to do this much longer.
Forehand on the run. Wouldn't you agree that 2-set leads don't evaporate unless you can create doubt in the other guy's mind?
Yeah, well, that's my point.
By showing some fight.
That's exactly the point. How you play every point sends a message to the opponent. And then Murray had a
playing every other point doesn't do that.
No, he had a big smile on his face here. Looked right up at the Djokovic camp.
Every other point. Brilliant running forehand to win a point. Awful forehand the next point.
In his match, his semifinal match with Ferrer, Murray kind of grabbed the leg and grabbed the left hip. And continuing to do that tonight.
And back to plan A for Djokovic.
Stepping up on the forehand wing. He is so confident off that wing now, going big up the line, and look at the footwork. Takes this ball nice and high. His 10th forehand winner. See, not only is he a great mover, Djokovic, but he also has great footwork. He takes nothing for granted. His camp knows that he's a point or two from putting this away, a chance to serve it out.
I like his father's look here, a suit better than the shirt that he had at the U.S. Open with Novak's picture in the front. Okay.
Better look for it?
Yeah. For a final, yeah. Trouble. Yep. Imagine what, about 10,000 of those folks with the Serbian flags. That's how tough it is to play a Davis Cup.
How about 20,000?
Only about 8 or 10 in here, but it's enough to get under Murray's skin. Break point for a 5-3 lead. Be enough now. Murray broke it again for a third time in this set. Djokovic now must just hold serve for his second Australian Open title, second Grand Slam title in 4 years.
Well, that transition forehand from Djokovic when he's been on the run and then just with one swing hitting that cross court and going on offense has been such a weapon for him, not just in this match, but the whole tournament. He out-hit Federer forehand to forehand.
Ready for play. Thank you. Please.
Just hasn't looked comfortable with his racket, with himself all night, has he?
No.
Tension has been one of the watchwords. He didn't like the tension in the racket. A lot of tension in the body, in the brain. And a lot of questions to answer for Murray after this match. Apparently about to fall well short in his third major final. Willing to outwork him again, isn't he?
Yep. The defense just wearing Murray down.
30. Should be the other way around.
Yeah.
It's Djokovic that's done more running than Murray.
Well, all the questions that people have had about Djokovic over the years,
Thank you.
those are faded away. What a performance tonight. 2 points from the title.
Well, we know the two of the players that have won multiple slams that are currently playing, Federer and Nadal, obviously. The only other one is Leighton Hewitt with his Wimbledon and U.S. Open victories. Djokovic looking for his second. There. Ooh.
30.
So when he's lined up, that backhand up the line.
Please.
A year ago, Andy Murray brought to tears by his speech as runner-up here to Federer. I wonder what's going through the mind now, this opportunity that's slipped away. Novak Djokovic, championship point.
Is